All right, Marjorie Taylor Greene had a little bit of a meltdown on camera last night, and I want to break it down because, on one hand, it's very embarrassing for Marjorie Taylor Greene and the MAGA movement, but on the other hand, it's kind of embarrassing for the American people. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a full-grown woman who's supposed to represent a certain amount of Americans, a certain district, and who works in the United States House of Representatives, who's asked a very serious question about national security and decides to throw a tantrum. I mean, just read this article title. Marjorie Taylor Greene tells British reporter asking about signal scandal to, quote, go back to your country. Why would you tell a reporter, why would you tell anybody to go back to your country? That's a very MAGA thing to say. And you know, before we read this article, let's just play the video. And then I have another one of her from the other day. But man, this video is bad. All that I ask is that you scroll down, make sure you leave a like, and let's check this out.
Yep. Anybody else?
Should the Defence Secretary...
What country are you? Wait, what country are you
from? The UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your reporting. Why don't you go back to your country where you have a major migrant problem?
Okay,
and you, no. You should care about your own borders.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
Let me tell you something. Do you care about people from your country? What about all the women that are raped by migrants?
Do you care
No,
about
by migrants. No, do you care? Okay, you're done.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
You know what? I don't care.
Service members fighting for your country.
I don't care about your fake news. Do you have a relevant question?
So incredibly embarrassing, but watch, it gets better. And by the way, when Marjorie Taylor Greene says you have rapist migrants in your country, dude, we have a rapist as our president, and she will defend him. Marjorie will defend him. But now, watch an American reporter butt in.
I don't care about your fake news. Do you have a relevant question? Yeah, this is an American journalist. Thank you.
I'm an American, and I'd like to hear your answer to what she's asking.
I'm not answering her question because I don't care about her network. If you would like to ask, I can answer.
Do you have any concerns whatsoever about the complete disregard of operational security from the top level of this administration?
You want to know about complete disregard about operational security? You should talk about the Biden administration, how they ripped our borders open to terrorist, cartel, child sex trafficking, human trafficking.
She's like an NPC with pre-programmed talking points. I honestly thought she was going to bring up the Hunter Biden laptop, and there's more to the clip. It gets a little bit more heated, but can I just really quickly point out, this is not just a heated exchange. I don't even think you can call this a heated exchange. It was an intentionally public display of contempt for the press from Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's also a lot of contempt for our international allies in there. She very specifically asks for an American reporter, and then I love, drop a like and some blue hearts for that American reporter. I love when he goes, hey, I'm from America, and I have the same question. And Marjorie goes, oh, but you'll have to re-ask the question. And then he completely restates the question. So again, this is a lot of contempt for the press in one clip, a lot of contempt for allies, contempt for any form of accountability. MAGA is allergic to accountability, and it's one thing to challenge the premise of a question. It's very fair. I've seen Democratic politicians do that. They say, hey, the premise of your question is entirely flawed. It's another thing to just throw a temper tantrum and shut down a journalist. By shut down, I mean kind of just whine on camera because of their accent, because of their nationality, and then spiral into unrelated talking points about immigration and rape statistics. I mean, listen.
Biden administration, how they ripped our borders open to terrorist, cartel, child sex trafficking, human trafficking, and drug trafficking across our borders for 4 years. The Trump administration is doing a great job, and I stand by their statements. I stand by their statements. My comment to you is I'm thankful to President Trump that he is leading us out of wars, that he's ending the war in Ukraine.
This whole debacle started because Trump struck the Houthis about a week ago, which is fine. They deserved it. They were attacking international trade, but you can't call him the anti-war president when that's inherently an escalatory action.
Where American lives could have been killed if Joe Biden was still president today, whether he liked it or not. We're talking about NPR and PBS today. We're talking about fake news that was funded with federal funding from American taxpayers. That's what this is about today, not journalists from the UK that care about their own.
When she said American lives could have been lost, I was thinking, is she genuinely dumb? Don't answer that question. It's rhetorical, but this entire signal leak, the entire reason it's scary is because it could have directly led to American military personnel losing their lives due to a breach of operational security. Marjorie Taylor Greene is genuinely BSing her way through this clip, spewing out unrelated talking points. When she says that Trump has created peace across the globe, he has 2 peace deals falling through right now. Here's what Trump did, to be real. He has these peace deals on a piece of paper, basically, but that piece of paper means nothing when both sides are still fighting. So when he brokered a peace deal between Netanyahu and Hamas, Netanyahu immediately began striking back, and then Hamas retaliated, and it's not really a ceasefire, but Trump claims it is. Same thing with Russia-Ukraine. He had a quote-unquote ceasefire, a soft ceasefire with Putin, and then within hours, Putin goes further, but now Trump can't do anything. If Trump says that Putin needs to stop, he's basically admitting his ceasefire is bunk. But watch this clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene attacking AOC and saying she's childless, she doesn't have kids. My question to everybody in the audience is, would you rather your kid look up to, use as a role model, Marjorie Taylor Greene or AOC? It's pretty obvious.
It's not a presidential year, and by the way, I think AOC is going to have a little something to say about who's going to be the nominee in 28. Always, we can have that discussion.
Yeah, I can weigh in on her. Let me ask you a question, Eric.
Yep.
This is a woman. Think about this. This is a woman. She's never been married. She has no children. She's never had a job other than working in a bar, and that was short term, from what we understand. She's never run a business. This is a woman that has really no life experience and has no life wisdom because she's never done any of those things.
She's also incredibly young. I don't get this bar attack. Their attack is basically like, oh, she worked at a bar when she was 24 years old. Can you believe that? Ha ha ha. It's like, dude, you're inadvertently making fun of millions, tens of millions of Americans. What do you mean she worked at a bar when she was 24? What's wrong with that? That is the most normal thing ever. In fact, the upward mobility that she's experienced working in a bar to being basically the face of the Democratic Party at this moment is even more of an argument for why she has good political instincts. You're making an argument in favor of her. And the fact that she worked in a bar shows us that she can empathize with the average American much more than Donald Trump can, who has never worked a day in his life outside of the business that was handed to him by his father. And then Elon Musk definitely can't empathize with the average American's struggles, but AOC can. I mean, these people.
This is why no one will take her serious as a presidential candidate, because we don't want someone that's propped up by the Democrat progressive establishment and who's basically an actress herself, making the most important decisions in America on behalf of Americans.
AOC is an actress? Marjorie is saying that like she isn't? Marjorie is the biggest actress in all of Congress, and you can see it right here. Now, I do have wonders if over the next 4 years, over the next 8 years, there are better positions for AOC within the party than being the president. And I know that's going to piss some people off, but I don't know if she should run in 4 years quite yet. But I think she would be a better speaker than Hakeem Jeffries, a better speaker of the House than someone like Hakeem Jeffries. Hell, of course I would rather have her than Schumer. The point is, there might be positions within the Democratic Party where AOC is able to still be the face and use her youth and energy and her wits to continue to pounce on the Republican Party without being a presidential candidate. She doesn't quite have to do that yet. And I think she knows that. I don't think she's going to run in 2028. I could be wrong. But I mean, look how the New York Post tries to spin this. Marjorie Taylor Greene shut down a British journalist. Really? Would you call that shutting someone down? It's more just like being an abrasive asshole. I wouldn't even say you're shutting them down. But, you know, I'll leave it at that. Drop a like, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Love you. Peace out.